You think Pennsylvania is your affordable escape? The last safe harbor from the coastal market insanity? Yeah, that's the sales pitch, the one they print on the glossy brochures. But there's a story they're not telling you. It's the one you hear after the ink is dry, usually muttered over a surprise $2,000 roof leak or a property tax bill that just keeps climbing. The truth is, some of these so-called bargain towns are financial traps, where the low price is just the bait. This can't be real. We're talking about homes with tax rates that function like a second mortgage, and entire local economies propped up by a single shaky employer. It's not a deal, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Today, we're driving straight into that storm, exposing the 10 Pennsylvania cities where buying a home in 2025 could be the biggest mistake of your life. Number 10. Lancaster. You roll into our first stop, Lancaster, and the scene is almost a cliché of American charm. Historic brick buildings, quaint little shops, it's a perfect 10 on the postcard scale. But the moment you look at the real estate listings, that charm gets real expensive, real fast. According to Zillow's data from the first quarter of 2025, the median price for a single-family home here has pushed past $315,000. For that price, you'd expect a moat, but you're more likely to get a basement that floods. But the sticker price is just the opening jab. The knockout punch is the property tax. For that median-priced home, Lancaster County is going to hit you with a bill over $5,500 every single year. God, that's not just a tax bill, that's an annual gut punch. It feels like they're charging extra for the privilege of existing here. And to top it all off, the price-to-income ratio, based on the U.S. Census Bureau's latest figures, is a soul-crushing 6. Guess I should have majored in winning the lottery. You're not buying a home, you're buying a very expensive ticket to live in a historical diorama. It's brutal, it's laughable, it's 2025 housing. Locals may adore it, for good reason, but for a new buyer, the math is a straight-up nightmare. It's a beautiful place to visit, but a financially punishing place to own. If you had $315,000, would you buy here or move to a state where the taxes don't feel like a second mortgage? Number 9. York. Next stop, we roll into York, a city that feels a bit like a faded photograph. You see glimpses of its industrial past, the grand old buildings, but also stretches of quiet streets that just sit there. This place is struggling to find its footing, and it's showing up in the housing market. According to Redfin's analysis from the second quarter of 2025, the median home price in York has seen a modest year-over-year increase, but days on market are ticking up, currently averaging around 60 days. That's not exactly a hot market. It hints at a sluggish demand, like buyers are just taking their sweet time. Or maybe, just maybe, they're looking elsewhere. The real gut punch here is the economic stagnation. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported a higher unemployment rate for the York-Hanover metropolitan area than the national average in May 2025. When jobs are scarce, especially well-paying ones, the foundation of a healthy housing market starts to crack. It's a classic domino effect. Fewer good jobs mean fewer people moving in, which means less demand, and eventually, stagnant or even declining home values. It's brutal. It's laughable. It's 2025 housing. Sure, you might find a home for around $200,000, which sounds appealing, but what's the point if your equity is just sitting there, gathering dust, or worse, slowly eroding? Local news reports have highlighted an outmigration of younger families, searching for opportunities in brighter economic pastures. That's not a house. That's a financial coffin with windows if no one wants to buy it when you're ready to sell. You're not just buying a house, you're buying into the local economy. And here, that economy feels like it's running on fumes. Is this just a normal correction, or the start of a slow bleed for cities like York? Number 8. Allentown. You pull into Allentown and you can almost hear the faint echo of Billy Joel's song, but the reality on the ground in 2025 feels a lot less romantic. There's been talk of urban revival, shiny new developments, but if you look closely, the cracks are showing. Zillow's data from the first half of 2025 shows the median home price for a single-family home bouncing around $250,000. Not terrible, right? Until you dig a little deeper. The average days on market have edged up to 65, indicating that buyers are starting to get picky, or perhaps nervous. The problem? It's a convergence of factors that could make buying here a bad bet. First, the job market. While there have been efforts to diversify, the Lehigh Valley economy, as reported by local news outlets in early 2025, is still experiencing a slower-than-hoped recovery, with manufacturing shifts impacting stable employment. That's a shaky foundation for home values. Second, and this is where it gets truly grim, crime rates. According to the Allentown Police Department's publicly available data for 2024, certain areas continue to struggle with higher rates of property and violent crime. That's not a house, that's a financial coffin with windows if no one feels safe enough to invest there. While city officials are working on it, the perception, and sometimes the reality, can significantly impact property values and buyer demand, especially in the core urban areas that were supposed to be the heart of the revival. It feels like buying a ticket to watch your own bankruptcy live. Why am I not surprised? You might get a relatively affordable price, but you could be stuck with an asset that's bleeding equity faster than a sieve. If your home lost 30% of its value due to local conditions, how would you feel? Number 7. Harrisburg. Driving into Harrisburg, you see the grandeur of the state capitol building, a symbol of power and, well, high taxes. This city, Pennsylvania's capital, is a prime example of where the cost of living feels disproportionately heavy compared to the value you get in return. According to Redfin's analysis for the second quarter of 2025, the median home price for a single-family home sits at around $220,000. Okay, that sounds reasonable, right? Then the tax bill hits. Oh, come on! Dauphin County, where Harrisburg is located, has some truly eye-watering property tax rates. For that $220,000 home, you could easily be staring down an annual property tax bill upwards of $6,500. That's criminal. It's a constant drain, year after year, gnawing away at your financial stability. Local news reports in late 2024 highlighted concerns over the city's fiscal health and reliance on these taxes, signaling that relief might not be on the horizon. This isn't just a high number, it's a punch to the gut every January. It feels like buying a ticket to watch your own bankruptcy live, only the show runs annually. Your money isn't just buying a home, it's funding a hefty portion of the city's budget, whether you like it or not. And it's not just the property taxes. Insurance premiums here, while not as catastrophic as in some coastal states, are also creeping up, adding another layer to the rising cost of ownership. The economy is stable, thanks to government jobs, but it doesn't offer the kind of robust growth that typically offsets such aggressive tax burdens. Anyone remember what a truly affordable home felt like in a state capital 10 years ago? Number 6. Erie. You pull off the highway, and Lake Erie looms large, beautiful, but also a metaphor for the city's housing market. Vast, cold, and a little desolate. Erie is fighting a battle against population decline, and it's a fight the housing market is slowly losing. According to the U.S. Census Bureau's latest estimates from 2023, Erie's population has been shrinking steadily for years, a trend that local demographers don't see reversing soon. When people leave, demand for homes dries up faster than lake water in a drought. Zillow's data from the first quarter of 2025 shows the median home price for a single-family home barely clinging to $170,000. Yeah, you heard that right. 170 grand. That sounds almost quaint. But don't let the low sticker price fool you. This isn't a hidden gem. This is a market struggling to keep its head above water. Days on market are averaging a painful 75 days, indicating listings are sitting there, gathering dust, ignored. It's like throwing a party and no one shows up. This isn't just slow, it's practically glacial. Local news reports in early 2025 detailed how a lack of job opportunities outside of a few key sectors is fueling the outmigration, particularly among younger, working-age individuals. Who wants to buy where everyone else is packing their bags? That's not a house, that's a financial coffin with windows if no one wants to buy it when you're ready to sell. While property taxes are slightly lower than other parts of the state, the lack of appreciation potential, coupled with the real risk of continued decline, makes this a seriously risky play for any buyer hoping to build equity. Where do you think prices here are headed in the next 12 months with so many people leaving? Number 5. Scranton. Next up, Scranton. You know it from TV, but the reality for homebuyers here is less sitcom and more dark comedy. You drive through neighborhoods where homes look sturdy, traditional, and then you see the numbers and your jaw just drops. According to Redfing's data from the second quarter of 2025, the median price for a single-family home here is around $180,000. Sure, why not? But here's the kicker: property taxes. For a home in that range, you're looking at a bill that can easily hit $4,500 annually. Let that sink in. You're paying relatively high taxes on a relatively low-value home. It's like paying first-class prices for an economy seat. This is theft in daylight. The price-to-income ratio isn't as brutal as Lancaster, hovering around 4.5, but the sheer burden of property taxes on homes that aren't appreciating quickly enough is a financial trap. Local economic growth, as reported by the Chamber of Commerce in early 2025, is slow, relying heavily on healthcare and education, which are stable but not exactly high-growth sectors driving rapid wage increases. This means your income might struggle to keep up with those relentless tax bills. It's not just overpriced, it's predatory, it's pathetic. It's 2025 real estate in Scranton. You might buy cheap, but you'll pay forever. And that equity? It's going to be a slow, painful climb, if it climbs at all. Oh, and the insurance? Slowly but surely creeping up too, adding insult to injury. If you think this is bad, wait until we get to number 1. There's one city where the crash is so bad, homeowners are literally abandoning properties. And we're almost there. Is this just a normal correction or the start of a deep freeze for the Scranton housing market? Number 4. Reading. You pull into Reading, and the city's industrial past is palpable, but so is its present struggle. This isn't a city making headlines for booming growth, it's making them for the kind of challenges that make home ownership a high-stakes gamble. Zillow's data from the first half of 2025 pegs the median single-family home price at just under $200,000. Relatively low, you might think, a bargain. But then you look at the conditions here and you realize that bargain might just be a euphemism for buyer beware. The economic situation in Reading is precarious. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported persistent higher-than-average unemployment rates for the Reading metropolitan area through late 2024 and into early 2025. When job prospects are dim, housing demand inevitably wilts. More concerning, however, is the crime rate. Local police reports and news coverage from 2024 highlight continued struggles with both violent and property crime in certain neighborhoods. That's not a price, that's a punchline. What good is an affordable house if you're constantly worried about your investment, or worse, your safety? Property taxes, while not Harrisburg level, are still a significant burden, pushing close to $4,000 annually for a median-priced home in Berks County. It feels like buying a ticket to watch your own bankruptcy live, only with added daily anxiety. This city is a tough sell, not just because of the numbers, but because of the underlying instability. You're not just buying a house, you're buying into a community that needs a major turnaround to make home values sustainable. Are you seeing signs of this kind of economic struggle impacting home values where you live? Number 3. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. You roll over one of its iconic yellow bridges and you see the postcard view. A city reborn from steel and smoke into a shiny hub of tech and medicine. It's impressive, you can't deny it. But when you start looking at houses, you realize you're not just buying in a city, you're betting on a zip code lottery. Redfin's data from the second quarter of 2025 shows a citywide median for a single-family home at around $240,000. A steal for a major city, right? That's the bait. The switch is that this average hides a brutal divide. For every booming, walkable neighborhood like Lawrenceville, there's another, just a few miles away, where for sale signs are gathering rust. In these forgotten pockets of the city, listings are sitting for 80, 90, even 100 days. That's not a market, that's a museum of unsold homes. The problem is the city's recovery has been surgically precise, enriching some areas while completely bypassing others. Local reports from the Pittsburgh Business Times in early 2025 have repeatedly highlighted this tale of two cities, where the high-paying tech and healthcare jobs are hyper-concentrated, leaving other neighborhoods to stagnate. It's like buying a ticket to watch your own bankruptcy live if you bet on the wrong block. You're still on the hook for Allegheny County's property taxes, paying into a system that might not be investing back into your street. Buying here feels less like an investment and more like a gamble on which version of Pittsburgh you're getting. Which market feels more risky? A booming tech hub with hidden pockets of decline, or a consistently struggling Rust Belt city? Number 2. Philadelphia. You arrive in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, but for home buyers in 2025, it can feel more like the city of brotherly shove. This is a massive urban center with a housing market that's a tangled mess of history, ambition, and crushing costs. Zillow's latest figures from the first half of 2025 put the median price for a single-family home right around $310,000. For a major East Coast city, that might seem almost reasonable, if you squint hard enough. But the real issue? It's what you pay after you get the keys. Property taxes in Philadelphia are notoriously high, a constant weight on homeowners. For that $310,000 house, you're looking at an annual tax bill that can easily top $4,500, sometimes more, especially in gentrifying areas where reassessments are catching up. God, it's an endless siphon on your finances. Then there's the price-to-income ratio, which for Philadelphia sits around 6.5, according to census data from 2023, meaning it takes over 6.5 years of the median household income to afford a home. That's not a house, that's a financial coffin with windows for your future earnings. The aging infrastructure in many neighborhoods also means a higher likelihood of unexpected repair costs, from plumbing nightmares to roof replacements. Local news has been buzzing about the ongoing challenges with city services and infrastructure. And while the job market is strong in certain sectors, it's not growing fast enough to outpace these ever-increasing carrying costs. It's brutal. It's laughable. It's 2025 housing. Buying here means signing up for a financial tightrope walk with no net, balancing a substantial mortgage with unrelenting taxes and potential repair bills. If your insurance bill and property taxes doubled overnight, would you stay or sell your Philadelphia home? Number 1. Johnstown. And so we've reached the end of the road, the absolute bottom. This isn't just another city with red flags. This is a full-blown 5-alarm fire for homebuyers. This is the place where the American dream comes to die, leaving behind a ghost town of abandoned equity and broken promises. This is the ugliest, most absurd, most financially dangerous stop on our tour. According to Redfin's data from the second quarter of 2025, the median price for a single-family home here is, get this, $75,000. 75 grand! God, I actually said no way out loud when I first saw that. That's not a price, it's a warning label. Why so low? Because the demand has cratered. The U.S. Census Bureau has tracked a catastrophic population decline for decades, a trend that continues into 2023's latest estimates. People are leaving, and they are not coming back. This is where the risk of a 40% value collapse becomes a terrifying possibility for anyone buying today. It's not a single crash event. It's a forecast, a plausible worst-case scenario where, over the next few years, continued outmigration and zero demand could bleed your $75,000 investment down by 30 grand. That value doesn't just dip, it evaporates. Local news reports from late 2024 documented the spreading blight. Homes literally being abandoned because they cost more to maintain than they are worth. You'd get better ROI from setting your money on fire. This isn't a housing market, it's a liquidation sale where everything must go, and still nobody's buying. Is this still a viable place for homeownership, or just an expensive prank on anyone who buys here now? So there you have it. 10 Pennsylvania cities where buying a home in 2025 could feel less like achieving the American dream and more like paying for a long, expensive nightmare. From crushing property taxes in Harrisburg to the slow, agonizing decline in Johnstown, it's not just about the sticker price anymore. It's the hidden bills and shrinking equity that hit hardest. Think one of these cities doesn't deserve to be here? Or is there a place you think should be number one? Let's see it in the comments. Hit like if overpriced zip codes make you want to scream, and subscribe so you don't miss the next round of housing horror stories.